What's up, everybody? We are live. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so we are starting the stream, guys. It's International Master William Paschall here with Macro Panda and Oscar Goldman. Good to see you guys. We are here to play 5+3 casual open challenges, open mic night for our viewers. If you have an established account with an established rating, you're welcome to challenge me here. Yes. Yeah. All right, let's get started. So, someone on sound, welcome. Asterbait, Mubot, Slaggy. What's up, guys? Someone on sound is someone on sound. No, you're not allowed to challenge me. Asterbait should be challenging. I know he doesn't like Blitz. Good weekend coming up. I had no warm-up games. We could go to the... Actually, we should go. We haven't done this in a while. Go to the lobby bar. Dimitri Lass. Alright, Dimitri Lass is challenging me. I was going to go to the lobby bar, get a drink, but... Alright, Dimitri Lass. Mr. King's Indian is not going to get a King's Indian today. I'm bored of that. We'll just open it up with e4 right away. Anytime I play like knight f3, c4, it doesn't matter. I get the King's Indian. Let's throw something else out there. Does he play the Najdorf? Is that it? Just make something up. I used to do Weird Wednesdays. I'm not streaming on Wednesdays now, but when I did do Weird Wednesdays, typically I was going for a3 on move 2 sometimes. Stuff to that effect. Someone on sound is going to love this. If I castle, he plays knight f6 now. Yeah, I should probably take this pawn. I don't want to play Mora Gambit. We're just going to transpose to a Sozin here. If I were to castle knight f6, it gets a little sketchy since I can't play knight c3 there. We're just going into a mainline Sozin this away. So, Najdorf, bishop c4, Dimitri Lass. Have some fun. Let's have some fun. I remember after Castle G5 97, once I had a game, and Nick DeFermian was like, why did you play Rook G1? So H6. I guess this is book. I had this line in the game, the Canary Islands. Many years ago, I lost tragically to a low-rated player. Did you just play G4? Believe so. This is like devastating. I think this is good for me. Take backs, you're here early. Early is on time is late, and late is inexcusable. Someone seems surprised that I played the move G4. One of my better E4 games. Don't get many Sozin Sicilians. But I did study the Sozin with white like since high school. So I'm pretty solid when I get this kind of setup. One of my better open Sicilians with white. Black to move. You get me a robot in the mail, an action figure. Yeah, that's not a robot. That's, That should be coming soon. Yeah, I think Percy Up was a little harsh on the Canary Islands there. What do you have against Canaries? What if I were to just play Rook G1 now? My favorite move. Queen F3 is strong as well. Well, the Queen F3 allows E4. They told me not to do this. Get a lot of criticism here, man. You guys are my friends. Whew, it's worse than the Democratic debate. I can't remember what I said 2 minutes ago. I only play aggressively when my opponents make mistakes. Doctor Tactic. Holy tactic, Batman. Does this actually work? Incoming. Oh my god. Anita, wow. Nice donation. 400. I mean, I'm tempted to try something crazy there. Man. He's a crazy player. Seriously. This is very dangerous. He just keeps finding tactical move. One after another. Strong tactical move. Damn, dude. Anita, thank you so much for your kind donation. Thank you guys for your... What's up? Mr. Coffee. Do you remember the debate? I didn't watch it, man. I just read the news. Today's my son's birthday. So happy birthday to him. 9 years old. Unbelievable. Wow, dude. All right. Dimitrilas, a true fighter. Fearless. Completely fearless. We're close to something good here. Very, very close. Wow, Anita just went crazy. She went crazy with 1,000-bit donation. Crushing Mr. Coffee's record for the week. Wow, that's like another 900. Insane. 9th birthday donation. That's awesome. Best son in the whole world. I got a clown face. Oscar Goldman here with us to celebrate. Say goodbye to Oscar. He's headed out this week on eBay. This is your last chance to buy Oscar. Current bid $15. The boss of the $6 million man, Oscar Goldman. Can you beat $15? I'll have to start auctioning my items on my stream. Alright, so here we are. He's getting away. He's getting away. The free panther suit. The condition. Don't talk about the condition. Alright, he played Queen C6. I was a little concerned about King C7 there. I must just be winning here. Does he have some sneaky threat? Probably I should just take this. What does Rook B8 do? Black King should have headed for C7 immediately. There's no threat here. Oscar doesn't have a panda suit, unfortunately. Alright, game over. His king never made it out to safety. So, just for informational purposes here. Just so you know, okay? Because knowing is half the battle. G4 is the best move for white. Little known fact, very strong in this position. Okay, let's go on. So, summon on sound, take back. We're not taking subscribers here, we're just taking whichever, challenger here is first. Anita, thank you so much again for your kind donations. I'm trying to refresh my Twitch page to see the heck I am. Where the heck I am? Anita's got 1,200. Taking out, replacing Mr. Coffee. Alright. I go first. I'm white. Alright, I can't handle another E4 game. Man, immediately someone on sound. He's 1,800, but he plays like he's 2,100. You just gotta erase these ratings. It says 1,700 bullet, 1,800 blitz. And check it out, 51 games. Sorry, someone on sound, you don't have 100 games. I can't play you. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, this is bogus. 1999 is fake news. This is all fake news. He's much stronger than that. Totally ridiculous. But anyway, I'll humiliate myself here. Welcome to the stream, guys. Open challenges here in Blitz. Arsenal fan. You lost to a 200. Wait, you lost to what? 200? Wait, what's the lowest rated you're talking about here on lichess.org? Or are you talking about over the board 200? Over the board. The board. It's like the Swedish chef. Alright. Over the board 200 is impossible. Sounds like something my son would say. Alright, C5. Technical mistake, right? Bad move order. I've had this happen once before, someone on sound. You're not the first person to do this. You need to castle first before you do C5. 88. The what? Oh. HTFP. Yeah. Anyway. Just don't talk about, you know, your animals in the stream, okay? No pet discussion. We're not gonna go there today. So C takes D6. I had a plan here. I had this weird idea I could play Queen D5 in this position. Bishop takes C3, pawn takes C3. Queen takes C3, check. That looks creative. But why would I want to do that again? Was it pawn takes E7? Must have been. It still looks a little bit rickety. I mean, it can't be bad for me, right? You guys don't know you don't know who that is. There's $15 going once. Do I hear $20 for Oscar? Do I hear $20? We have a $15 bid currently for Oscar from the $1 Million Man. Weird. Did I just drop a rook? I didn't think you could do this. Wow. Wow. I feel like there's got to be some sort of trick here. I don't see a move. I'm just gonna lose again. He's already got 4 out of his last 7 against me. Oh, bishop d2 is playable, but it might be my only move, bishop d2. Knight takes queen, bishop takes queen. I was looking at queen d8 check for some reason, thinking that was something. I'm down a piece there if I play bishop d2. There's no move. Found that. Finds everything instantaneously. Damn. He sees everything. Much clearer than me. He only used 2 minutes, I used 5 for the whole game. No, it's the weirdest thing. I thought I had this in my memory banks. This wasn't good for black, but apparently it is. I basically played the opening on autopilot because I thought this is just automatically good for me. Life is not so clear. Yasser has a lecture on this? This totally random thing? That's weird. It's suddenly looking like I have good compensation. Bishop takes c4. Oh my god. He was seriously dropping his queen. That's crazy. I thought I could castle. My god, he was hanging his queen and I didn't take it seriously. Wow. Good game. Well played by both of us. Holy shit, that's ridiculous. He was literally dropping his queen to bishop takes c4. I mean, who would have thunk it? Like, I just give my opponent too much credit. Oh, speaking of which, That's good. Too much credit. Good game, me. Alright, this is embarrassing. Oh, he saw that. I think a rook is too much. Even for this guy. Whew. Dropped a piece. I didn't see his queen was hanging. And that's crazy. Two bishops. You're so practical. You can castle. It's like a machine. 1800. Dropping his queen, but fast. Dropping his queen quickly. The thing was killing me that I seriously thought I could castle after playing King E2. It's really disturbing. Check out his bullet rating. 1705 bullet. My God. He's like a machine, man. Incredibly strong. Obviously, this is a draw. I mean, yeah, clear draw. Absolutely. Yeah, good game. It was drawn all the way. That was easy. Nah, no problem. Good game. Well played. Okay, next one. Take back. Yeah, you earned it. Take back, Yevgeny, Save a Dog, Arsenal fan, Shawarma, Blubix. That was ridiculous, dude. I mean, I dropped... he dropped his queen, and I didn't take it. The queen on c4, that's absurd. I mean, I realized I dropped a piece later on, but to not see that his entire queen was hanging, that's pretty ridiculous. No, that could not be on analysis on Thursday. Sorry. That's what happens when you don't play chess all day. Man. Wow. Alright. It's like I get someone on sound and then someone plays the Mora Gambit the next game. You're like, your influence is spreading here. Or the influence of something insidious. Man, I'm not proud of that game. That will not be displayed. I just reserve the right to refuse games from analysis on Thursdays. Yeah, Bola gone. For the Kings of the Inn, probably. I recommended that. I assume. Speaking of authors and people who buy a lot of chess books, my friend Joseph the Weed Master is down, hanging out on the porch. He's shy though. He's got his Pierce book by Mihai Marin. Studying that outside. We're booking up on the Pierce apparently. I don't know why. But nah, Gutfeld. That was the hang your head in shame variation. I'm really blundery right now. I mean, just like ridiculous, dude. I mean, that game is worth analyzing, but not on the stream. I don't want to look at that publicly. I agree. I hang my head in shame. Even Oscar is like, no, that was horrible. He doesn't even know how to play chess. Guys, we're taking bids on Oscar. He's got $15 on his head. We both had an average Centipon loss of 133. Really the same? Is that like the maximum or something? Fuchsia, is there a maximum Centipon loss? Like, you can reach? You've seen 300 plus? Bob, what's up? Why do I keep feeling like Bishop G4 is a mistake here? It's a totally normal position. Why is there some position? Oh, when I can go Bishop G4 too early. That's funny, Fuchsia. But I mean, that's funny. I was just so happy to find a way to not lose a piece, basically. Because I was convinced I was losing a piece. That's why I spent like 4 minutes in the opening. And when I found a way to play like King E2 or whatever, to let's just lose the exchange, essentially. So someone on sound, how was it? He checked on C3. I played King E2. And then what happened next? So he checked. He did some unnecessary check on C4. I have to look at the game, but I don't want to do it publicly. No, I don't understand fully. The opening I want to understand. Because for some reason, I thought that line wasn't okay for black. My understanding was that black can't do d takes c, queen a5 if he's not castled yet. Because of d takes e7. I have a very old book on that type of line. I don't know what happened to that book, actually. It's probably around somewhere. Like, oh, I don't know, it was Hartston. One of those old English original Pergamon. Very old 80s chess opening series. McKay. Some British. Those British chess publishing. Bishop e3. According to your millipawns. We're going to need millipawns for that game. I mean, it's crazy. He plays queen c4 check. I play king back to e1. And he drops his queen on c4. I mean, that's ridiculous. So what was it like? A lack of playing queen e6 check first or something that you forgot to do? Essentially, queen c4 check, king e1, queen e6 check, bishop e2. So we should like interpolate those moves. Queen c4 check, king e2. I mean, queen c4 check, king e1, queen e6 check, bishop e2. And then you take on a1. And then I take on a1. And you don't drop a queen, but you're leaving your queen on c4, you know? I'm not expecting him to drop a queen. You know, I just give, even if he is 1700 in bullet, I'm gonna give him credit for not dropping whole queens. You know, maybe I'm too liberal or whatever. D Wildman is hosting. That's the secret to being 1700 in bullet. I mean, gotta drop whole queens. Anita, again, thank you for the bit donations. Mr. Coffee this week. Jim. Very liberal. Lots of respect for my opponents. But I've told the story about this Blitz tournament with my friend Bill Kelleher, who was an awesome Blitz player, where we both, were laughing because I dropped a queen and didn't see it or something like that. It's like, oh, look, I dropped my queen. I've told the story a million times. It happens, even grandmasters don't see hanging queens sometimes. We hope we don't do it in like tournament games where it's like a long time control. I was just thinking about bishop h6. But that's probably not a big deal, I mean, we got the Najdorf, the standard Najdorf reaction of knight e8, All right, bishop b3. Let's not give him a second chance to play bishop h6, I guess. Speaking of Goofell, played queen e8 against him. One of my many games. Is jealousy a good motivator in chess? I would assume it's a good motivator in everything, Mr. Arsenal fan. It's one of the 7 deadly sins, right? Or something like that. You should talk to Jonathan Rowson about it. Your Scottish neighbor. He wrote the 7 deadly chess sins. I'm sure jealousy is in there. I'm not a Catholic myself, but all right. Rook AC1. Yeah, good book, but a dated book. The Grunfeld-Rowson book is old. Like the rest of Summon Unsound's opening repertoire. Dated. Alright, what am I doing here? B4. I'm just being mean because he almost beat me there. Huh. Running out of time again. We know that you're up to date on your openings, Summon Unsound. Opening theory is your specialty, right? Your strong point. At the Blitz tournament earlier, your final round opponent was 215. I don't think you should be jealous. I think you shouldn't compare yourself to people, coming to chess from a completely different, age and perspective. Don't compare yourself to someone who's playing chess at 15. You're you. I mean, you could be envious, but I don't know. Is that the same as jealous? I guess it's the same thing. Don't see the reason. Sorry. Because, take back. Speaking of generous, did I say generous or jealous? He just kind of freaked out here. There's no reason to give me a piece. So h6 will be necessary at some point here. Oh no, Oscar fell down. You guys didn't see that. That wasn't live, I hope. Yeah, you guys saw it. Oscar fell down. He had an accident. Oh my god. Don't tell them. Alright, Oscar. You can lay in Panda's lap. Alright. Poor Oscar. He's going to the hospital. We can rebuild him. He's been taken before. He's been taken apart before. He's the $1 million man. It's no problem. Actually, he's not. That's the $1 million man's boss. So actually, we might have a problem here, Houston. If it was the $1 million man, it would be okay. But this is his boss, Oscar. Actually, we'll have to check and see if he can be rebuilt. We're 2,000 in Blitz on lichess. Still my first year of chess. I mean, that's amazing. How the heck can you get to 2,000 in your first year of chess? That's insane. I mean, you must be really good. I mean, naturally good. It's not easy to get. Whoops, another free piece, man. I'm just so happy I'm up a rook. Why I don't need a second one. You know, one is enough for me. I'm not greedy. You know, second rook. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be greedy. I mean, it doesn't look good. So, all right. Actually, take back when you played this position, right? When you played that piece sacrifice, I was starting to be kind of worried that, to be frank, knight a5. The point is that I thought you had e5 around here. I was unsure about this variation, de5, de5. I was going to actually play, because this was unconvincing to me. I didn't really like knight h5, so I was going to think about playing knight e8 again. This wasn't that good, you know. I think e5 was a good try. All right. Practically speaking, people can't take the chess analysis too literally by the computer. I think a lot of people take that just too literally. We can't judge our play by stockfish alone, you know. That thing is analyzing 20 moves deep, and how can we, you know, relate to that? That's ridiculous. All right. Slightly damaged Oscar. He's sitting upon his lap. I know it's kind of provocative, guys. Don't tell the bidder that Oscar had a little accident. You know what? You can, on eBay, you can buy the $1 Million Man's shoes for $15. I mean, there's a pair of track shoes for $15. I've got Exploding Briefcase. I can't wait to put that up for auction. This is a very interesting move. Humpy Konaru did this. I remember, like, with white in the Grunfeld. It totally freaked her opponent out. Interesting move, creative. You know, definitely very creative. I think I should probably try for a Benoni here. Hopefully with Queen c7, the Benoni is the place to go. Arsenal fans like Arsenal's like yes. He's like tripod. He's a tripod. He kind of, yeah, not very flexible action figure. I'm previewing some of my items, but Oscar has special attention because there is a hot bid on Oscar for $15 on eBay right now, and I'm just, you know, giving everybody a last chance while he's there's a bidding war going on as we speak for Oscar, so I want to give everyone a fair chance. So Queen c7, my idea here is to try to punish that slow move by opening it up as fast as possible. So I had the choice between like going for a Grunfeld, King's Indian attack, or Benoni. The Benoni is the most I mean, the Grufeld's open too. Actually, both moves are reasonable. Bishop G4. Okay, that's a good move by Yevgeny, I think. I often play such setups myself. Bishop takes F3 is playable. I would also consider Bishop H5. Funny, the Weed Master's outside. He's outside analyzing his Mihai Marin book on the Pierce defense. But actually, now he's making me remember that I actually had some games with Mihai Marin in online Blitz in this Smyslov King's Indian reversed. Not the reversed. This is a Smyslov King's Indian reversed, but I actually played the proper Smyslov King's Indian with Marin. And that made me think of man, I mean this is really crazy aggressive. I don't think that's sound for black. Yevgeny is kind of crazy. Psycho aggressive. We get a lot of people like that here. You guys are like super aggressive. Dmitry, Yevgeny. Can anybody just play like calm, chill, relaxed chess? Everybody has to be like trying to go for the jugular all the time. Play sensible chess. I was putting out Oscar and Steve. Actually, someone on sound, that really bothered me too. When I put them up on eBay, I intended to list them. At first, I intended to list them together. And then I just took their picture separately and forgot to take a group photo. So then when I went to list them, I was like, all right, I'll just have to put them up separately. Yeah, it's sort of sad. But definitely, we had a discussion with Blobix yesterday. Apparently he has a different name in France. Because the $6 million man is not enough. What is he doing here with G4, by the way? What is this all about? You're trying to pry open the squares somehow? Are you going to get me on H2? Now he castles kingside, so this is like utterly random. Wow, okay. That's weird. Actually not threatening anything. Are you threatening me? I could just try to win a pawn with bishop g5. It's weird that he castled kingside after playing h5, h4. That's a good one, Arsenal. Well, I was really hoping I got a bid for Oscar and no bid for the $1 million man. The $6 million man, I'm sorry. Not confused with the wrestler. And I thought, you know, for sure that the same bidder would go for both. But apparently there's a shortage of Oscars and more $6 million men on the market. Shocking, but true. So we'll take what we can get. $15. 5 days left on auction. All right. So count your piggy banks, folks. You too can own Oscar. Black played really recklessly with h5 and then castles kingside. It's reckless enough to do h5, then to castle into that. And this is probably just going to fall off. Maybe bishop g5, bishop h4. You didn't see the tactic? Yeah, it's not a big deal. I thought he might try like 95 here. I'm actually not threatening. I'm not really threatening c5 because he can play bishop takes c5, and after b takes c5, queen b1. You know, so it's like a pseudo threat, pseudo science. Luana, great. Can you find tournaments there in Brazil? Where you are? I mean, Brazil is a huge country, so presumably it depends on your region. You know, there's all these different states in Brazil. Wait, maybe c5 does win a piece. Whoops. Did I say it didn't win a piece? I'm sorry. I lied. I hate it when I do that to people. It does work after 95. Like, it wasn't a threat, but after 95 it becomes a threat. I mean, I didn't really lie because I said it wasn't a threat. He dropped his queen. It's going around. Very popular. It's almost trendy. I probably won't see it, so you might as well just drop your queen. It's a good practical try against me. Anyway. Weedmaster's outside laughing probably about my first game, though I'd like to see him do better. He's out of practice, quitting chess for the rest of his life. Alright. Bishop d2. Man, he's not giving up here. This guy's serious. It's like, I am not going to give up. I don't care if I'm down a queen. That's a serious material problem. Guys, we're taking challenges. I'm still pretty sloppy. A lot of strong players. Arsenal, Schwalma, Blobix, HTW. Nobody's, you know, low rated. People who are like under 1800 seem afraid to challenge. But I'm glad Luana doesn't care, you know. There's no reason for you guys who are under the average, most people being 18, 19, 2000. Don't be hesitant to play, please. Alright, let's try the Peert's defense in honor of Weedmaster's book outside. My first defense to e4, going back to the mid 80s. Almost as far back as Oscar, no. Oscar's from the late 70s, but this opening dates back to the mid 80s for me. F3. He wants to play King's Indian. Arsenal plays D4. Maybe. Let's do G6. We'll go from there. Yeah, Weedmaster just got his first flavored vape. He said mango is really good, HTFP. So but he doesn't vape like cigarettes. He does like weed vaping. Mango is very smooth, apparently. Bishop E3. At least with cigarettes, like, you know, the smoke like is harmful enough that you can't like overdo it without like coughing your brains out. Vaping is really dangerous because it, like, you know, you can just do an enormous amount and not realize how much damage you're doing to yourself. Okay, Bishop E3. This is interesting. Waiting. The waiting game. D5 is probably a move after Bishop E3. Someone on Sound's approach doesn't work here. Alright, so I guess we'll try C6. You can play the white side of King's Indian here if you want to with C4. Oh, Anita. The best juice. What kind of juice are you talking about? Like real juice? Mango juice? Where did that come from? Alright. Does it need a vaping? Knight c3. Vape juice. All these weird terms, you know. Knight c3. So we've got Pierce. Proper piece. Proper piece. Actually, Arsenal sounds a little bit like the lizard from the Geico commercials. No, is it Geico? I think it's Geico. Yeah. Arsenal, you don't have a little Australian in you or something, do you? To me, I mean, I'm not an expert on like British territorial dialects and stuff, but I think he sounds a little like the lizard. Alright. He just induced b4. Inducements. Don't say things like queen b6. What the heck was queen b6? Where? Like on move 5 or something? You want me to play move 5? I did that once against Huang Trang or something like that, and it didn't work out well in an analogous position. Arsenal, you're using a lot of time here. I guess we're gonna be traditional and play bishop g7 at this point. The bishop might do well early on g7 in these setups. The traditional advice is the opposite, but you know, that's what I've been trying to do, is like hold off. But now if he's gonna play something like a4, it's, yeah, we change the calculations. Calculations have changed due to queenside activity by white. Normally we're waiting, you know, for white to do some very aggressive queen d2, etc., and castle queenside. Once he's not going to do that, then we can go ahead and do our kingside traditional development with bishop g7 and castle. But I'm not a King's Indian, I mean Pierce expert. You'll have to contact Ilya Smirin. Actually, someone was saying to me that Ilya Smirin has a book out on the King's Indian. Or was it the King's Indian or the modern King's Indian, I guess. That's another suggestion for Arsenal fan. I'll have to ask Weedmaster. He knows everything about opening books. He should do like book reviews or something. What about c5 at this point? Because it's never really exciting. We'll play rook b8 first. Eventually play e5 or c5. But Arsenal's kind of making up, mixing and matching different kind of systems here. He's got a little queen side, a little king side. An interpretation all his own. But not being the expert Pierce player, I have no idea. So it looks a little odd to me. We can go ahead and do this. Didn't think too long on that move. Obviously his knight is awkward on b3. Though frankly I'm not in love with the symmetrical pawn structure. It's certainly not unfavorable. I'm not quite sure what you mean, James, by gets their tempo. For me, like a tempo just means a, you know, unit of time. Greetings from Istanbul, from Jean-Luc. Greetings from Massachusetts. I'm a resident of Budapest, Hungary, but I'm in the United States right now until the late fall, possibly. I'm American born, but I live in Hungary. just hanging out here for business. Business and pleasure. Bishop c4. Okay. Yeah. Oh, 100 endgames by De La Villa. I played him. It was a draw. Jesus. So what's the point? He calls knights on knight 2, the dumb square, for a knight. Maybe it sounds cooler in Spanish. The concession. White is making concessions. He made a concession. Giving up the dark square bishop. That's a serious concession. Game looks weird. After many, many moves, it's called a textbook situation. Well, I mean, there are standard situations with similar things happening naturally in any game. I mean, every game is going to be a little bit different, clearly. What should I do? Yummy. Delicious. Rook d1. Preventing rook d8. But I mean, I think that white is a little too time oriented, to be frank. You gotta remember, guys, when you're playing with increment, you can't try to flag the other player. I think that's a very important sort of fallacy, you know. Sort of tricked him. He could have taken on c5 with his queen, but it was like a psychological suggestion that he tried to do it the other way. Like a fancy way to win the exchange here, but it's probably a little too fancy. Gets a couple of pawns for it, and it's actually, it could very well be inferior to other moves I could have played. He once lost on time in 10-10. Well, I lost on time in, you know, long game a couple years ago, but it was a very, very difficult endgame where I was like trying to find like the only move in an ending where I literally had to play like a computer. So it was like if I didn't find the move, I couldn't make a move, and eventually I just froze because I couldn't find it, you know. I mean, I could have just hammered out any move, but I would have lost quite simply. So I lost on time. But it wasn't a lost position. I had to find the perfect move. 30-second increments. That was hard, though. So it's possible to lose on time. Arsenal totally freaked out. You really should take the queen there. A lot of free queens going on today. Appreciate your generosity. You shall be rewarded. Yeah, too time oriented. Remember, guys, this is different from sudden death. I mean, we really, Arsenal just kind of freaks out. Okay. Casual 5+3. Remember the increment. That's why I can talk, you know. I think your mistake, Arsenal, is a positional 1 to give up your dark square bishop. I wouldn't do that under any circumstances in that type of position. It's your best piece, really. Okay. We played Shalma twice. I don't remember now if I was white or black. I guess there was a white game there, but I was going to play the Scandinavian, but let's not say we did. Let's play something we know. So, I'm sorry, Move 11 earlier you mentioned De La Villa, and you're talking about, I don't know his books. You actually reminded me that I played the guy, Jesus De La Villa. I don't remember our game, actually. All I remember that it was a draw. I have a lot of draws. Very popular. Right. So this is like a technical mistake for white. But some people might play this on purpose with white, like trying to play for a draw. So I guess there's a school of thought here that if I'm playing a lower rated player, I might not want to do this, because I've seen some higher rated players struggle to win this type of position. Knight takes c6, b takes c6, knight, knight e4. This is my friend Bill Kelleher had a game like this, I remember, with black. Knight takes c3, knight takes e7, check, queen takes e7, b takes c. Should probably be okay for white. I mean, I think that this is normal, I guess. I mean, I don't remember the last time someone played this against me. No one does, really. It leads to a lot of simplification, and black equalizes. But it's a pain if black wants to win here at all cost. Take care, Arsenal. You're welcome. Take your time and protect your dark square bishop next time. Black is winning a piece. I wish I was winning a piece. How would I win a piece? I just sacrificed a piece. Winning a piece back. He's winning a piece temporarily. Knight takes e4. Is there some way to win a piece I don't know about? No. Okay, guys. Good turnout today for the Friday stream. We haven't had a lot of viewers, though. We've got a lot of subscriber support, but viewership has been down. So, I appreciate it. And Anita, Mr. Coffee, Jim, 700, Blobix, Asterbait, Dragon B, WJ, Warnaki, Fisher, Calmer, especially Anita and Mr. Coffee. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. Warnaki with another 100. Don't forget, you too can own Oscar Goldman. Macroponda is not for sale unless I get desperate. So, as far as I can recall, I think the game I was remembering where my friend played, it was like something along the lines of bishop d3, de, bishop e4. And my friend, who's IM strength master, like couldn't beat or struggled to beat a much lower rated player. I think it was this position. But now we have the option to think about something like d4. But I don't think I should. Probably I should just take this bishop here. I don't think that's right what he did, you know. I call this different things. The ghost bishop. Someone else recently had a great suggestion for it. No, I forgot. Like poor Joe Biden. They're already starting with the old memory references. The only money I spent on chess was $5 a month to me. Thank you. Well spent, man. Wise decision. Money well spent. But, what are we going to do? Tournament entries. Maybe you can deduct them on your taxes. Trump probably canceled that too. All right. Well, I mean, I don't think people have to have coaches. I was lucky because I had a really, really good friend who was very smart, and together we learned together without coaches, really. But I think that if you don't have a partner, you know, like a, let's say, really intense sparring partner that you study with and learn a lot with, having a coach is obviously, you know, someone coach you is obviously the best way to get better quickly. I think that both are very advantageous, but for me, having someone who was my level that I worked with all along, and when you have a friend who's like your own level, that's like an ideal situation because you can kind of push each other. Ideally, someone who's kind of competitive to make you get better and themselves get better. That's important. Oh, you know SWAT Italic, so I know SWAT. Played so many tournaments here in the United States. He's very good friends with a lot of the professional players, the older generation of professional players in the United States. SWAT was practically living here in the United States. So he played so many tournaments, and the guy, he must have been here more than his home country. Alright, so this is getting kind of weird. We have the Ghost Bishop versus possibly pretty good knight. We're up several pawns now. 2 to be exact. Maybe not critical. Gleitzen, you remembered something you said? I said? Yeah. Exactly. Like when a strong player gives you material, you should be very suspicious. It's like our Halloween, you know, celebration in the United States. We always say like to check the candy for poison or whatever, you know. I mean, it's that kind of thing. They don't give out, strong players don't sacrifice material, you know, without a good reason. Very occasionally they will blunder. I mean, look, I dropped a piece in one game. I didn't see a queen hanging, so I do make tactical mistakes. But most often, they're not going to make a simple mistake here. All right, White resigned. But if we look at this game, you know, this opening is a bit problematic for Black because really, see, there's even games between grandmasters in this position. Bishop d3 is really drawish. Yeah, computer's coming out at 0 after bishop d3, almost 0. Exactly. This was the game that my friend Bill had with Black. I don't think he could win. He drew with like a 2100. It's probably best for Black, if Black wants to win, move 11, someone unsound. These guys also play the accelerated dragon. If Black wants to win, I think we don't play knight takes e4. Like here, you literally have to not play the best move if you're interested in winning. Funny thing that, isn't it? But true. All right, let's move on. Blobix, what's up? The pawn structure is bad, but you have very active bishops raking the diagonals, so it compensates plenty. Got to be very careful with Blobix. The lichess post-challenge spinning wheel seems overbearing. Don't know what you're talking about. All right, d4. Okay. Something different. This is not going to take Blobix by surprise, though. He's been around a long time, and he knows every sideline of the Sicilian, probably. I'm just playing this because yesterday I analyzed a game. Actually, today, in fact, I analyzed a game in this exact variation. Milan Matulovic had a game with white. I found very instructive. He was another Yugoslav player with black from 82, a game I analyzed. Blobix's generation. And but bishop e3 is interesting. I mean, the main line here is actually bishop d3. The idea is that after bishop e3, I'm threatening bishop b4, and I can play for doubled pawns, pawn structure. Larry Christensen played this. I mean, everybody's played this. It's called, I call it the Grivas variation because the Greek grandmaster wrote a book on it. But a lot of people gave him heat for naming it after himself because so many players have played it, just never really had a name. You know, this variation, I don't know who should really get the credit for it, you know. It's been around for a long time, though. So, interesting. Bishop e2. What's up with bishop e2? You're, like, inviting me to play bishop e4. The most common move here is actually a3. Nefedov. Nefedov, where are you? Nefedov usually pops up when I say his name. A3 most commonly played. Assuming that's for a reason, bishop b4 is a good move. But I think that, you know, if it was a Khan Sicilian and I played a6 or something like that, he has knight a4, knight b6, Taimanov, or whatever these different variations are called. He doesn't have that here, you know. There's no weakness on b6. This poor variation never really had a name. So Hasan Draglu, I played him too. That was a draw too. Like, name a grandmaster I didn't play that I drew or something. It's like ridiculous. Every time we talk about someone, it's, oh, I drew him. I don't beat too many of them. I've beaten some, but I've lost to more. But I have a lot of draws. You're like, how's the Draglu? Yeah. I don't remember that game either. It was a draw. Played him in Budapest. Larry plays a lot of e6 Sicilians, move 11. That was his preference. Different kind of setups with 2 e6. Mostly, I think. Larry never really went in for the mainline stuff. He's not really a theoretician. You know, he knows lines, but openings aren't his specialty. He's more of a middle game, end game player, I would call him. Bishop f3, very awkward move for white here. Clearly not what white wants to have to do. Kind of makes you want to play d5. I feel like I'm getting greedy. You just take there on c3 probably. Reasonable move. I was just thinking, what would happen if white played bishop c5 here? It'd be kind of weird. But this variation with queen b6, I think it's kind of touch and go if white knows it really, really well. Maybe Blobix has played like this before, I don't know. I mean, this to me is an awkward looking setup with bishop on f3. I'm sure he has his ideas. I'm not certain if we've played this before. If I play e5, he has bishop c5 now. It feels like I have to play this first. I'm trying to blockade the dark squares. Kind of a Nimzo idea. Trade your bishop on c3, inflict pawn structure damage, and then put your pawns on the dark squares, making the other bishop, you know, playable. This is one of his better moves. Actually, I was afraid of this move. That's why I I was wanting to play e5. First of all, I didn't want to fix his pawn structure. No, I don't really want to play knight takes d4, pawn takes d4. I could do it, you know, and it might even be one of my best options, but it's not my favorite thing to do here. I'm looking at rook d8, bishop g5, probably strong. Knight d4 is counterintuitive, but it's very solid for black. I guess a6 is logical. He has knight c6, b6 there. Knight e5 isn't great. He's threatening knight b5 now. This is like the safest move for black. So it's again like Nimzo style. I try to have no bad pieces and make sure I keep my pawns on the correct color with my remaining bishop. But I think that white has a solid center and the bishop pair, you know, long term. He's certainly not worse. I'm offering him to play d5. Controversial. Offering, I should say, inducing. h3 preparing bishop g4. That's a weird idea. Move 11, maybe. This is a weird move too. There's so many options now. Taking. One thing you don't want to play here is knight to d7. Well, I meant to play this. I'm not sure if it's a great move, but I forgot my original plan. This was my original plan. Getting Nimzovician. I'm so solid it hurts. Pinning myself for this. There are other ways to play. I mean, I could probably allow the double pawns. I could maybe even play knight d7 and let him play bishop e7 and let him, you know, even have a bishop on d6. Blavix likes to use his time. He's old school like me. He doesn't fear time pressure. So far, a fairly mistake-free game, but not the most exciting. Solid positional battle. Just try to make constructive moves. There's your bishop g4, move 11. Now it makes more sense. Actually, b5 allows a4, so I don't really want to do that. Maybe later. Look, ma, no bad pieces. I'm getting ready to siege the e4 pawn. To lay siege. Alexandre. Rook on f to e8. Oh god. You're looking at a game I played against Lumpy Konaru. Well, I think there was one. There might have been two. I can't remember now. That I did not draw. Sadly. We should play a6 there. A second chance. He could have played a6. Maybe a trouble move. That could have created some imbalance favorable to white. It's like the four knights. Something like that. I love that. Look at that guy. Let me out, please. Let me out. It's a bishop. It's a pawn. What is it? Please let me out. I'll do anything. Oh no. You just stand your ground. Just stand your ground law. He's trying to play f4. He's doing it anyway. George Zimmerman. Only Americans will understand the reference. Alright. Thank God he can't play rook f1 at least. Could have problems in certain scenarios here. That a6 pawn on the queen side. But he just gave me two connectors. Uh-oh. Wow. I should probably blockade that now. Stand your ground law. Stay in your lane. And other catchphrases. That's about all I can attack e6 with. I think we have it covered, guys. It's covered. Come out with your hands up. Pawn. Mr. Pawn. And what is this, some sort of eternal pin? There's all sorts of moves here. That's weird. It's like a bizarre situation. I don't know how to get out of this pin. And he just ran out of ideas. Unreasonable guy. You can have. Alright. Yeah. Interesting game. I wonder if we stop for a moment and take a snapshot of the position where I played bishop. Sorry, knight takes d4. Here. Curious what the best move is for black. Good game, Blubix. It's counterintuitive to play knight takes d4, but I'm curious if that's black's best move or not. So the computer wants to do anything but fix that pawn structure for white. Understandably. But I mean, I'm very concerned about knight to b5 here. No one's ever played. Very few people have played bishop e2, and no one's ever played bishop f3. Okay, anyway, let's move on. We got challenges HTW, who has 100 games. We played HTW before? I can't tell. I'm concerned. Why not a6? Well, a6 weakens my dark squares a little bit. There was a problem with the a6. I'll explain it to you. I didn't have time, but what I didn't like about a6 was that white can play knight takes c6 and then b takes c6. That may not be that bad for black. But he has some chances in that position with the bishops on e3 and f3, maybe to play e5 or maybe to wedge a bishop on b6. There are various little tricks. I thought it might not be that good for black. Play the Benko was requested. I'm trying. Looks like we're gonna get like the London system or something. Accelerated Queen's Indian. Ah, b6, terrible. Sorry guys, white's not cooperating with mainline moves here. I'll try to play a Benko if I can Fuxia in a future game. The Accelerated Queen's Indian is not my thing. The Benko I can at least try to play. Alright, so here we are. Standard stuff from several of our viewers. Merle Dixon particularly was playing this against me a lot. And I guess c6 is not the only move. I mean, I can play c5 probably. But after c5 e3, it's not an easy position to play. Barry attack. I'm not sure what the theory really says in this position. I kind of like to just play a little bit of a waiting game normally. I guess I should just go ahead and play bishop g7 now, since there's no queen d2, bishop h6. So the Barry attack is like bishop e2, knight e5, Mark Hebden's specialty, and then playing like h4, h5. Well, I didn't play like this against Joel, move 11. You know, I played like traditional London system, not knight c3. Wade is disguising his aggressive intentions here with bishop e2. It looks like a mild-mannered move, but it still could revert to kind of aggressive Barry attack. I think I had this position with white against Nikolai Borgia in the Grandmaster tournament. I actually played this line with white once. I did it completely escape my mind, but it was the last round of a GM tournament in Budapest where I had a horrible result. And it was just a nightmare tournament I wanted to forget. So like the last round game, I lost to Nikolai Borgia, and I am from Denmark. And I think he actually played like black, and I was white in this type of line. But I didn't really, the game didn't really hinge on the opening. I played so many games that I played a lot of weird stuff without even remembering I played it. That game, I was surprised to see that like 6 months ago. It's like, wow, I don't remember playing this with white. On bishop e2, it supports h4, h5. That's Heby's plan. White seems like some sort of semi specialist here. So knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4, knight g5. What's up with that? That doesn't seem right. How does that go? Knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4, knight g5, e5. Knight g5 is for real? Knight f6, bishop e5? Man, that's bizarre. That actually looks good for white. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I've never played this player before. Don't know anything about him. He's only got 13 rapid games. 125 Blitz, another anonymous opponent. He's just another one of these London system guys. It's not exactly a London system, it's a hybrid. But I don't know. Probably a Smurf account for someone else I've played before. So they're kind of running out of waiting moves here for black. Running out of waiting moves. Knight h5. Kind of wonder about that. What's wrong with that? This looks a bit strange. But I guess white's position remains solid. Very measured play by white. Let's be calculating g4. Seems okay for black now. Not quite sure what we're supposed to do though in this position exactly. I could play like f5. That looks a little extreme. Not quite sure what to do. Where to put my knight on d7. Knight b6, you guys know I hate that square. He's threatening e4. I'm going to lose on time. Extreme chess moves. It reminds me of a knight c3 Dutch, which I played a lot with white. And this move could be surprisingly good for black. I could get a decent Dutch. Right. I said that, right? Knight b6 is always a mistake. I mean, this obviously would be a hideous move if I didn't have pretty good dark square control. The fact that I can play e5 next no matter what is contingent on this whole thing working. Where the whole thing working is contingent on that. Wow. So, amazing move by white now. Knight g5. Who would have thought it? Knight f6. What do I do? Wow. What a weird move. I have to give up on playing, you know, e5 myself. This is like brilliant. Positionally brilliant. Wow, he enables himself to play like f4 and block the whole position or something. It's approximately equal, I guess. That's insanely brilliant. Wow, dude. This guy must be strong. Cone Slav. Yeah. Seems extremely strong, whoever this is. definitely stronger than 1900. It's like playing Merle Dixon again. I just have to try to equalize. Very important I don't let this bishop get to c4. It's a almost connect 8. He just needs to put something on e1. Merle Dixon's brother, apparently playing white. Merle Dixon's clone account. Hoping to equalize here with black. Very measured white, you know, every move, the same amount of time, very careful. I maybe should have castled there. King c3 is extraordinary. I'm just going to opt for a draw here. Just declines my draw automatically. The brilliancy. Rook d7, b5 gets interesting. You saw that too, Luana. What a coincidence. He didn't see that. White playing like a master, positional master. 2300 plus, basically. He did miss rook d7. Superb tactic. And I'm almost flagging. He uses almost the same amount of time on every move. Now this is a strange move, I would say. And he resigned. Even stranger is the fact that he resigned after rook takes d2. Why would you resign? That's weird. I don't get it. Like, he plays rook d2, I play rook d2 and he resigned. Okay. I'm not getting it. I'm winning a bishop. No, I mean, it's not anything. He's just like not losing anything. Did not see the in-between move. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to see. It's check. Okay, weird game. Luana is up next. Those intermezzo check moves. He played like the whole game perfectly, and then that's weird. All right. So let's try something different. The accelerated dragon wasn't too exciting. Whew, it was lucky. I offered a draw. He declined to resign one move later. In an equal position. That's always a good deal. Okay. We'll play our standard stuff. That was weird. Anyway. He missed rook d7. That was kind of a bone-crushing move that I missed as well. Luana, you played this against me the other day, right? EH3. 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 Why not? I want to be creative. But yeah. How can be we creative? How can be we creative? Okay, let's play e5. I don't normally go for this type of structure, but whatever. Just for variation, I'll play e5 and see what white does. I normally play the dragon move 11, yeah. I might be disappointed with the quality of opponents who miss such obvious chess tricks. There's something very strange going on when you resign there. I mean, that's just not logical, James. I don't know about you, man, but that player of that caliber. Alright, castles. It didn't matter if I did it the other way, right? If I had played bishop takes c4, it's the same thing. He just doesn't intermezzo exchange. He's like never losing in that position. It's just not really possible. Alright. Whichever way I did the exchange, it makes no difference. He just takes the other way. You think it was worse for him? I don't know. I mean, rook takes d2, bishop takes d6, check, king takes d6, king takes d2. Is it really worse for him? I'm not that sure. I mean, maybe. It seemed like equal. Anita, wow, back with a sandwich. Queen f3. Peace pressure. I'm not a huge fan of this type of position for black. This knight is a big problem for me because it's in the way of the c-file. I'm not really excited to take that bishop on d3, but frankly, my knight is really kind of crap on c6 as well, so... Hello neighbor, it's a video game. Chess Lad is now following. That was a mean Merle Dixon imitation by my last opponent, though. Very solid. This is actually not a bad exchange for white. He trades his bad bishop for a knight in a relatively closed situation. I would assess this position as approximately equal. Not very exciting for either side, but maybe I could get an f5. Wonder what Blobix would do here. Knight h4. He would play knight h4. Blobix, how can I play knight h4 in this position? Can you teach me your secret? Just never, yeah. Yeah, HHTW. Ooh. It's too close to HTFP. It's getting crazy with you guys. And the names. I can't say it. I'm trying to get aggressive here. We have a rook. Our rook is making rooks relevant again. Rebecca Harris. What makes you bring him up? That's a GM on lichess, right? Oh, he's Rebecca Harris? Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Interesting. Now I know all the gossip on the latest Kid Grandmasters. Blubix found it. Knight h8. I'm sorry, king h8, knight g8, knight e7, knight g6, knight h4. That's it. It's also possible to play rook e8, knight d7, knight f8, knight g6, knight h4. Looking at various ways to achieve that here. So I think this is a terrible positional mistake by white now. Because we have knight takes, he has to take with a pawn. My bishops like are very well placed. Very likely these things are just gonna kind of rake the whole board, and I've got this great pawn which is kind of killing his knight, grabbing space. When you have two bishops, you really want to have rook pawns. Lots of rook pawns, like crabs and lobsters running down the beach, you know? Now, Bob. I don't like chess.com, but I don't want to bash on any like individual people I don't know. So it's okay to hate entities, but not people. I said people, Bob. Nah, he's gonna lose a piece. Alright. I've had enough of this. So we just recapture, nothing fancy. We're gonna win a piece. It's just a matter of time. He has two pieces hanging. So Bob, let's be positive, okay? Be nice. Don't have to warn you, Bob. Bob's making stuff up again. Just don't pay attention to the man behind the screen. Yeah, Bob seems grumpy. I agree. Have a cigar. This doesn't look good for white. My crabs and lobsters thriving. Yeah, have a cigar with some Evian water on the side. That sounds good. It'll chill you right out, man. That sounds delicious right now. I'm not going to give him anything here. He actually has d6. That could be kind of weird. I trapped my own bishop. Damn it, that works. God damn it, Jerry. No, d6 wins a piece. He missed it. I'm the master of blockade. Luana does a lot of tactics problems. Like, he definitely shouldn't miss d6 there. That's a two mover. It's very easy to see. It's a forcing move. No, you should not miss d6. Chess was once a smoke type sport. I mean, they used to have ashtrays at the tables. What are you talking about, man? I mean, in old school chess tournaments in the 60s and before, I mean, probably even in the 70s, you could smoke at the board. I mean, it was all about smoking at the board. All right. I kind of miss I miss smoking on the train, actually, on Amtrak. I'm old enough to have smoked on Amtrak. Uh-oh, Lunatic Pandora, Interactive Chess, Stuk, Sandre. Sandre has problems because he's not got enough games, and he's challenged me to rate it. We're going to play Lunatic Pandora. They must be nuts. Who is this Lunatic Pandora from the USA? Another one of these new accounts. They must be a Smurf account. Look at that. 1,800. It's like someone on Sounds ratings. Alright, we'll take their challenge. Have I played them? I did. I played them once. Okay. The Amtrak smoking car. That was great. My old days. Quit a while back, but You lost to 1,000 today. It happens. I remember when I flew to Russia, they were still smoking on the plane back in 1990. Every other airline, you know, in the Western world had outlawed smoking. It was weird. I was like, that's crazy. Okay. We're white. I guess we go first. Lunatic Pandora played in a Pond Arena. Jim doing all of his research. Jim, you have statistics? I love statistics. That's the only field of mathematics I actually like and believe in. Lunatic is playing. What is a Pandora again? It sounds like the World of Warcraft panda, right? But it's not. We already went there. Yeah, that's now I remember. I brought that up. I brought that reference up last time. Mr. Coffee likes statistics too. Oh, that's cool. Uber driver with the old school Mark Twain quote. Truth, lies, and statistics. They're lies, damn lies, and then statistics. Nice. That's like a dad joke. A dad quote. My dad's favorite quote was, "The only thing you have to do is pay taxes and die." But when I tried to translate that for Hungarians, they're like, "What are you talking about? I don't get it." You know? Like in Hungary, like nobody could ever imagine like you have to pay taxes. Paying taxes clearly in Eastern Europe is optional. They don't get that quote. I don't know if they would get the Mark Twain quote. So C5 is book. C5 is best. Floor Capablanca. Was it? I think I'm mixing games up now. Floor Capablanca or Rubinstein? I don't remember. There's a famous game here where there's like an IQP. The Lunatic Pandolina is innovating. You're supposed to play knight takes d5, I think. You'll Skinner subscribe with Twitch Prime. Awesome. 25 months. How many years is that? I have devoted friends here on lichess and Twitch. Mule Skinner is one of my most, frequently played opponents. We have how many games, man? Thank you for subscribing. So you confused me here, Lunatic Pandora. I'm actually thinking of taking on e6. That seems kind of mental. Takes e6, takes e3, takes d7, takes b2. No. Long think, wrong think, said my opponent, Jakob Attila. But I'm sure he's not the one that invented that quote. Andy Soltis says that Arthur Bisgeier claimed that he always, like 99% of the time, played the first move he saw. I mean, the first move that basically he considered. Just his intuition, basically. Bisgeier claimed that the intuition basically played the game for him. Knight takes d5, bishop takes g5. That's a weird line. So I'm thinking I have to take here on e7, sadly. Mr. Coffee. 110 bits, sir. Thank you. So the Vladimir Kremnik interpretation for black here is probably like knight takes e7. If you're out there, Lunatic Pandora. But Pandora doesn't mind. He sucks up this isolated pawn. Maybe it's not bad. We're very close to a certain game. Maybe we have transposition. No. Not exactly. It's not floor. More floor. Floor was such an awesome player. He should have been a household name. So, I love knights versus bishop. If I can get it. There's a famous game that Uber and I were referencing where Capablanca held with like a bishop on d7 against a knight on d4 in this type of structure. That's like most mortals would lose that type of endgame. But that's actually if you consider it, you know, one weakness is principally not enough to win the game. Basically, you need to induce a second weakness to win a chess game. In most cases, passive defense can hold one weakness, and that's why Capablanca could defend against Floor in this endgame with isolated pawn and bad bishop. If Floor had been able to induce a secondary weakness, he could have probably ground Capablanca down, you know. But that's the game, what it's about. Trying to induce a secondary weakness later on. I mean, I wondered if maybe Pandora should trade queens or not. You know, generally speaking, you shouldn't trade pieces when you have an isolated pawn. You should try to keep the pieces on the board, keep the game as complicated as possible. That game, yeah, that game is generally referenced pretty much everywhere as a really important example of isolated queen pawn strategy. Guys, thanks everyone for joining me. Good stream today. We're gonna be back on Sunday with our weekly simul. Don't forget, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if I play bishop e2, he plays knight f6. Okay. On the other hand, you know, h3 weakens my position. I'm more interested in this. You know, another good move there for me was actually queen c7. I think I should very strongly consider that. Invasive species. You know, what's funny? I saw this and I chose to do nothing about it because I forgot that my knight was hanging. I calculated like knight takes e3, pawn takes e3, queen e3 check, rook f2. I swear to God. I calculated that. I was like, oh, that's fine, you know? But it's not fine. It's not fine at all. Here we go again. It's like my game with someone on sound. Now I'm going to have to get creative. Oh my God, I lose 2 pawns for nothing. Chess is not fair. Those damn tactics every time. I bet Lunatic Pandora spends hours doing tactics puzzles. It's good, it's helping his game. I don't, unfortunately. It's funny, like if you overlook something like this, you know, then shame on you. But I saw it, calculated it, and said, oh, that's okay, you know, because I didn't remember that my knight is unprotected. All right, so this is bad. We're down multiple pawns. This will be a good course in defense of a lost position. How to defend a lost position. Bishop f5 could be a problem. Two pawns down. I mean, 1 pawn down is no problem, but I'm 2 pawns down here. Pandora immediately found a good move. Very simple, strong. Give me a pawn back, man, and we can shake hands and agree to a draw. This is embarrassing. I've seen everything. Interactive Chess knows about this. Pandora is what the world is called in Borderlands, and Lunatic is a character in the game. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Interactive Chess. Interactive actually is a streamer. He also was the victor in our Tuesday tournament. Thanks for joining us. So that's informative. It's a video game reference that I've heard of Borderlands, but I've never seen it. Queen c7, man. Knight e3 would have worked just the same. But why don't I have to worry about knight e3 there? Don't I have to worry about it anyway? Oh, you mean because I'm attacking his queen, yeah. Bishop e2 was a terrible blunder. But you all know that already. Stating the obvious is my specialty. So I'm feeling it here. Damn, he's trying to flag me. He's trying to win. You can't blame him for that, right? Wow. He's a little bottled up behind his d-pawn. Bottleneck. Oh, blunder. Blunderville. Almost blundered. Yeah, I want to put my pawns in the wrong color. Because bishop takes d5 was a good move. Destructive endgame. Should be a draw. Unless you're playing, let's say, certain someone famous for flagging with rook versus rook. We won't mention on our stream. Oleg Krivonosov. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to mention his name. A certain someone we won't mention by the name Oleg Krivonosov. He's a great guy, good friend of mine, my buddy. He's a good sport. It's very sportsmanlike to flag people with rook versus rook in online blitz games. Lunatic Pandora did a good job. Did a good job. Oleg Jr. Let's call him. What's the diminutive for Oleg? Baby Oleg. Leggy. Oh my god, I almost did it. I almost blundered the game with h5. I thought that that was a good way to liquidate pawns. That's pretty funny. Now we got it, man. Oh, easy draw. Easy draw, Oleg. Good game. Maybe I can win. Playing for the win now. Rook against rook. Classic. Classic rook versus rook. We've got the outside pawn. Should I take a draw here? Alright, very generous offer, thank you. So, thank you, Oleg Jr. Yay, we have 742. Interactive chess, Stuk, Sandre. Sandre doesn't have enough games. I didn't take your challenge. Not only because it was rated, but you have a new account. Anyway, guys, I don't have time for probably more than 2 games. Mule Skinner we've got to play though, because he's just he just resubscribed. Alright, last 3 games quickly. I'm not taking that other challenge because it's an account that's relatively new, and the last challenge we didn't have time for. These 3 challenges are last ones for today. A scene in your mind that you can't unsee. We've all been there. Yep. Well, obviously you want to share it with us. That's just too much of a teaser. I can't bear to live without hearing this now. So I can't remember. Bishop g4, queen b3, e6. Is interactive chess, you're not like one of these Esserman viewers or something, are you? Bishop g4, I can't remember. Bishop f4, queen b3, e6, queen takes b7, knight a5. Queen b4, e5. Yeah, it's supposed to be that. Isn't that it? Isn't that it? Queen b4, e5, followed by bishop moves and d5, winning a piece. I have a feeling that's it, but I might have messed this. I might mess this up. You know, there's a bunch of variations and they're all very similar, and I get confused between them. I can never remember on the fly like which is which. Oh, a remake of Pulp Fiction where I'm Vince Vega. This is a dream that Fuchsia had, obviously. That's funny. Stranger than fiction, Fuchsia. You have a good imagination. Okay, so e5 is a threat now. It's a thing. Someone on sound must be gone. We had like our second Mora of today. Someone on sound is a huge fan of Smith Moa. Chess MF. Do you play? Who's Chess MF? Chess FM. Chess MF? She double dared you. What did she double dare? Double draw. Anonymous gifter gave Chess Lad a tier 1 sub. How old to watch Karate Kid? Damn, Mule Skinner. You're harsh. Mule Skinner is a strict parent. I remember I was in like 6th grade. There was a movie I was... No, not 6th grade. It was like 4th grade. There was a movie I wanted to take this girl on a date, and I was afraid it was too adult oriented. Okay. Anyway. Corny elementary school stories. Really? Karate Kid? Are you serious? Gotta love Samuel L. Jackson. I don't really like John Travolta, but that was probably the only movie I really liked him in. I remember when I was a little kid, John Travolta was in this very old comedy series when he was super young called Welcome Back, Kotter. That was strange. Going back to the ancient times. Alright, bishop b3. I'm 39. I mean, it was replays, you know. GUI was bugging when I was logged in into Move 11 for some reason. So I use Smurf account, so Move 11 is Lunatic Pandora. Reveal. Wow. Congratulations, Move 11. Good, tough game. Nice tactic. I'm asleep at the wheel. I'm really asleep at the wheel tactically today. It's so hilarious that I sat there, I literally looked at 93 and dismissed it, thinking that, oh, it doesn't matter, you know? Like, well, my knight's not protected on d4, so that's good. At least if you're going to bother to analyze something, try being right about the evaluation of the consequences. Alright, so what do we do now? Queen e2. Interactive Chess played a slow move somewhere. You know, I mean, the theory experts somehow do queen g3 and bishop back to e2 in this line. We've probably already had one game in a similar position. Okay. Weedmasters is blasting his pop music outside. It's unbelievable. He listens to some good music and some bad music. Very strange taste. It's totally eclectic. You never know what you're gonna get from Weedmaster. It's like Ice Cube 1 minute, and then some kind of like really bad recent pop the next minute. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Totally random. Alright, good to have him here though. Queen e2. You like white here. Less pawns make it better. The less pawns, the better. So what is he gonna do? You're gonna build up on d6. I'm having trouble concentrating. Help. Knight a5, e5. You could play knight e5. I wasted way too much time here talking about Welcome Back, Kotter and Weedmaster when I'm just stalling to try to think of a move. But I basically put myself in a huge hole on the clock. I'm not sure this move really helps me. So we had a very similar game, I'm sure. Black is Stuffy. He's been called Stuffy. Stuffaluffagus. Stuffy the Stuffaluffagus. I'm feeling it. Yeah, he set me up for this. This is all part of the plan. Alright, man. I compromise. I offer you my knight. That will not happen. You're not going to roast me on that diagonal. Not today. I'd rather just give you a pawn back or whatever. Is Weedmaster rated 2420? I doubt it. No, he's old and he's retired. He hasn't been rated 2420 in millions of years. He still has a respectable rating for his age, though. You know, he's in the 23s. You know, solid 23s, upper 23s. I don't know. I think he probably maxed out, you know, FIDE 2420. Something like that. I think his USCF rating was in the high 2400s at his peak. But now he's oh, boom. Wow, Baches, Guillermo Baches. Uba, what's up? Baches Garcia. Baches Garcia from Barcelona. What's up, man? It's International Master Baches Garcia. Guillermo. It was Mubat. It might have been the real Baches. The real Spanish International Master. Man, Joe's got the pop music hardcore out there. As you know, I'm not really a fan of pop music. I was really sad, like, Guillermo says, "Si, senor. Nice to meet you. Looking good. Haha." It's good to see you too. Long time. All right, we got to mobilize our pieces here. That white square bishop is no longer dominating my life. I'm a compromising player, willing to sort of part with a pawn back or whatever. Got this diagonal here, we're fine. That's good. And I think queen b7 is a good move. He might have a restructuring in mind. Something like bishop c2, hello, white square diagonal. We're a little short of time, so... Knight p5 looks kind of fun. Kinky. Kinky bordering on suicidal. But I don't have a lot of time. Let's do it. Walking into all sorts of discoveries. But I'm running out of time. Yul Skinner, your fellow Spaniard, will sacrifice his spot for Baches. Alright. Maybe. The horror. Suddenly Apocalypse Now flashed in my mind. He's going to win a piece if I play knight g6. Oh my god. So I have to go back. And I lost some time there with this misguided plan. So now it just becomes kind of a time thing. I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful, obviously. I'm virtually getting mated, but not quite. And my c4 knight, what's it doing? Wow, it's like the adventurous knight. This is extremely borderline. Maybe time is my best chance. OMG. Please don't mate me. Just don't mate me. On G7. Yeah, he's trying. That's fine. Subtle. Seriously? That was a little greedy by Interactive Chess. Not taking the draw there. It unmoved queen takes e3. Got 4 challenges. Who's Nuran Lahain? Anyway. Alonso rated 3-0. Nope. So, alright, we got Stuka and Mule Skinner. The zombie plushie just arrived. Going strong, guys. That was fun. I mean, he should get a draw there. Nice job. I mean, you know, it was a good game. It was fun. Thanks, Paschall. Murderous Spartan just subscribed for 8 months. That was a fun game. I'm sure that we made lots of mistakes, but at least it was fighting chess to the end. I'm happy that I'm luckily winning there. It should have been a draw. Well, I mean, I don't think you had to try. You should have taken the draw, but I don't blame you for trying, you know. There's nothing wrong with trying to win. This is interesting opening by white. You could try to play d4 there. I mean, kind of like, why not? Bob can't even remember the people he's trolled. All right. Guys, Mathematic Chess, there's no time. My last game should have been this game, but I'm playing one more against Mule Skinner because he is our all-time #1. Is it the #1 opponent? Mule Skinner, you have the record for the most games played on my stream. I'm streaming from Budapest? No, I'm in the United States now. I'm living in Budapest, but I'm away. I have to sell a house here in the United States. I'm going to be here until the late fall, probably. So we're streaming from USA until probably like late November. And then I'll be going back to Hungary. The plans are not set yet, but approximately, I do live in Budapest. I met Mr. Paschall long ago, many years ago in Budapest, actually. So he's an international master from Barcelona. And we met over there. That was a long time ago. Can't believe how long it's been. Jose Gonzalez still is he living in Barcelona? I saw. Is he still in Is he in Barcelona as well? No, e5 is a good move here. You guys are friends? Because it was Jose that I think introduced me to you. Long time ago. I don't know about this. This looks okay for white. I mean, it's funny that he's playing, you know, e5 and it doesn't seem really well supported, but I'm not sure I can put enough pressure on him here to punish white. Can you punish white? Like queen b6, knight b3. Probably nothing for me. Yeah, I can't believe where the last 22 years went. That's unbelievable. So anyway, especially the last 15 years of my life. I don't know about you, man, but has been really fast. Queen b6. Oh, sick. Wait. It doesn't work. Does it work? No. I wanted to get some kind of tactic with queen b6, knight b3. Trying to take on e5. That's just not going to cut it. Queen b6, knight b3, knight c takes e5. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5, bishop takes g4. End of story. So I just don't have anything, you know. I just have to be able to. I'm just gonna have to like reorganize, essentially. Yeah, this is good for white. I mean, his position is fine. I don't normally like to play this type of line, to be fair. To be honest, I should say. I have 219 games against most gamers, so Pablo's number 1. Yeah, Pablo's at 254. My second most prevalent opponent. I mean, again, you want to look at crazy sacrifices here, but I think it's not quite sound. So I have to just retreat. What's that? The what? The FIDE handbook. Bathroom reading for me. No. I'm surprised they're having another FIDE knockout in Hanti-Mansisk. I thought that was done. I thought we'd really seen the last of Hanti-Mansisk. But they're holding the World Cup in Hanti-Mansisk, which that seems kind of weird to me. I thought we got away from Ilyumzhinov, and they're having the FIDE World Cup in Hanti-Mansisk. Odd, but whatever. Is it just me that sort of thinks that's odd? After there's supposed to be like a change in FIDE governing. Okay, maybe they'll see some alien spaceships or something. Bishop b5. This looks good now. I think white's center looks very exposed. He's actually just losing a pawn here. Oh, somebody has a FIDE to 2 FIDEs? I told the story about my friend. Now, this look just kind of gave me a pawn. I'm going to play one more game against Mule Skinner. I had a friend who changed his name because his parents were divorced or something. So he ended up with like 2 USCF, US Chess Federation ratings. I don't remember how that shook out. I think he was happy because he had a chance to get like a new rating. He didn't like his old rating, so it was cool to have a second chance. Start over. I'd like to start over again with the, what is it, 10K factor. I could make 2500 really fast. I don't like the rating system, the way the FIDE uses different K factors for different days of the week. We have nice 2 bishops here. We're gonna pop him with e5 at one point. Have bishops will travel. Although e5, you know, it's kind of double-edged. This bishop again, not always a great piece. Azerbaijan is calling. He's quoting the FIDE rulebook now. Upgrading to premium membership at FIDE will give you 10 extra rating points. I think they're gonna have. I think they'll have to start like FIDE rating loot boxes. You know, that would be the best way to increase the revenue stream for the International Chess Federation. Rating loot boxes. Oops. I missed something, as usual. Slight win of the exchange. Hey, maybe it doesn't matter. It's all good. It's not all good, because Queen e5 gives him some sort of magic f4 at some point. So I win the exchange here. Missed that last move. I'm still going to do it, though. Delicious and nutritious rooks. Should have been alert and played that right away. We've got one more game with Mule Skinner coming up. By the way, the time controls in the US are the same as Europe. I mean, I think they you know, it's not like there's any one set time control. Major tournaments probably started using similar time controls, I would imagine. But not for every tournament. There's still, this is a nice little trick here. But there are still, I'm sure, you know, a lot of traditional tournaments where they still have maybe like 40 moves in two hours. I prefer that. The FIDE time control is a little bit faster than the old school 40 moves in 2 hours. I would rather have the 40 moves for 2 whole hours than the FIDE standard time control. Mr. Coffee said, yeah, I think it's mostly, yeah, the 40, 90 plus 30, that's becoming more standard. So Mr. Coffee says 40 and 110, so they cheated the 10 minutes now. Okay, Stuk just dropped pieces. He's toast. He's almost as out of it as I am, as whatever I just said. Almost as out of it as I am. I'm feeling pretty tired, but it's late for you guys. Most of you are, or many of you, I should say, are in Europe, so obviously it's later there than here. As I was saying to Bashes, I'm in the USA, and I usually live in Budapest. Okay, guys, last game, Yul Skinner, and he's definitely, you know, ready to fall asleep. So, quick game. Stuk, thanks for subscribing. 11 months for Stuk. Yul Skinner. He likes the Benko. Actually, I never got to play a Benko for Fuchsia. She's probably asleep. Dreaming about me playing Vincent Vega. I mean, dreaming about me being in Pulp Fiction. But, it is late for the European viewers, so I appreciate you guys staying up to watch my stream. And, I think after November, coming in December, probably, I'll be back to Budapest and streaming at a reasonable time. That's funny, man. I don't dig on no Benko. I can't do Samuel L. Jackson. Sorry. You're welcome, Stu. Yeah, Reshevsky not renowned as an opening expert. But, I mean, the Benko had very little theory back in his generation. As you know, Mr. Uber. The theory of the Benko was really not developing till like the 80s, you know? So I had a game the other day, like in the same line, where it felt like I effed up the move order. This seems to be a good way for black to play. Not taking on b6 right away. The traditional line is like queen takes b6 pretty quickly. But it's interesting, the knight takes b6. No, he's delaying this, so I don't know what to do now. I mean, I could play a4 and force his hand. I'm going to have to look this up because I'm really not that sure about the best way for white to play this when they delay the capture on b6. So, don't forget, guys, your last chance to buy Oscar Goldman. The next 5 days, he's available. He wants to find a home. The current bid is $15. Check out my eBay for current pricing information. This is like a simul game I had in the late 90s. It's inaccurate for white. Yeah, it's already too late to do knight d2. I probably have to play something else entirely, like rook e1. This is too late. It is late. 1502. This is a simul game I had against an expert. The Boylston Chess Club. I don't know why I was playing a simul at the Boylston Chess Club. Never really did simuls there. It's odd, now that I think about it. That's odd in itself, but anyway. Knight c4. Black missed queen c7, and after queen c7, knight c4, knight b6. He challenges my knight on c4, and I don't have my bishop out on f4. It's supposed to be on f4 already. So my game that I'm remembering is queen c7, knight c4, knight b6, knight e3, excuse me, knight e3, not trading pieces. And because my bishop's not on f4, it's stuck on c1 behind my knight on e3. Black had a decent game. But I think better than even any of this might be for black to just like take the pawn with a knight. We had a game like that the other day. Wow, Gamro just subscribed. Awesome. No, nice to see you again. So, you know, come by all the time and hopefully we'll get to play. It's amazing to see an old friend and a strong player. All right, queen c7. Bishop f4. That's the move I wanted to play anyway. Knight c4, knight b6, knight a5. Well, you know, you got to have something protecting that knight on a5. Oftentimes, in such scenarios. Because your knight is not protected. If I go knight a5 here, he plays knight takes d5. And it's knight takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, etc. A lot of knight taking d5 and not good, but this is good. We don't have that problem now. We also don't have the problem with the bishop on c1. See, this is the whole point. This bishop is particularly well placed here because it's slicing that diagonal. There might be tactics against the queen on c7 and other rook on b8. Not that this is like game over or something, but it's pleasant for white. I think it's better for white. Now the question is what to do next. Knight g4 is kind of a fun idea. But I'm not sure it's good because of h5. So what do we do? Knight e5, what's his idea here? Knight e5? Okay. Looks like knight e5. I mean, this is his only plan. If I play knight g4, he plays h5, knight h6 check. Do some sort of crunchy piece sacrifice. Shamkovich did this once I saw in like a Roy Lopez. He like stuck his knight on h6 and then I don't think I want to do that here. It could be fun though, you know. Knight h6 check, king h7. Bishop takes h5 now. Knight f5. I don't think I want to do that. But this knight e5, what am I going to do once he gets his knight to e5 to get rid of it? Funny. It's funny like that. Let's just do something quick. Yeah. Mel Muskiner has a minute time advantage, guys. This is my last game. We're running late today. Poor international master, lead master, is probably starving, waiting for me to like have dinner or something. But I couldn't leave. Muskiner subscribed. He's like our second most devoted 200 game player. Yeah, the bishop f4 stops e6 breaks, which is really important. An arbitrary title. Rook e8. Okay, we can do nothing too. Let's all do nothing. Rook e8 would change the whole game though, wouldn't it? I could have played knight g4 now because h5, knight h6 check would be a lot different with f7 hanging. It's a lot funkier now to go knight g4 than it used to be. A lot more interesting. That's at least interesting. He has knight to c4, you know, stuff like. But I mean, it's starting to look like white has some serious threats on the king side. And bishop b7 doesn't look right. It doesn't defend this diagonal. He blocks his own rook on b8. So he's starting to come apart strategically. Right. No, I mean, the USCF calling it expert or whatever, it's arbitrary. But it's still, man, I mean, you guys have to be a little bit realizing that, you know, it's not easy to be 2000 as a chess player. That's a huge, to be fair, that's a huge, you're all spoiled watching like grandmasters play chess online. I mean, it's a huge achievement for the average player to reach 2000. You could be like this champion of some like less populated state if you're over 2000. Population of Alaska. The champion of Alaska is probably like 2000. Okay, f6, good move. But this won't solve all of your problems. Dun dun dun. Bishop c1. This is an instructive move, isn't it? I love that move. Because that piece, we're going to save that for later. I know that about Brian Smith, obviously move 11, but I don't think he lives in Alaska. He's a former Alaskan. He doesn't count anymore. He's a staunch Donald Trump supporter. But, you know, not everyone is perfect. Anyway, we'll get that in for the week. Bishop g4. Check. Maybe Sarah Palin's next husband. Who knows? f5. This looks like it's all coming unglued. Black not really in a safe place here. I love my jokes. We're sealed. He's sealed off. Sealing wax. Sealed off from the rest of the board. There is no queen. There is no rook or knight or bishop or any of that. Man, that's devastating. Devastation station. Alright guys, thank you for the games. Yeah, Mule Skinner collapsed at the end. Once I played knight g4, he's got to have a reasonable way to play there where it doesn't get too bad. Yeah, the computer actually is calling for h5 anyway. Interesting. So it's gonna do knight h6, king f8. Wow. Check the engine out. It's going into king h7, knight f7, rook f8. And just total insanity. Sacrifices galore. But to be fair, going back, as we said, queen c7. And I can't play knight c4. This is just my simul game. It's just bad. After knight c4, knight b6, I think black is fine. You can see the statistics here bear it out. I remember now, you know, this being a move, but I don't think this is all that exciting for white. Anyway, guys, okay, interesting Benko theory discussion here. I gotta go. Great games. I will be back on Sunday. It will be a simul 25 boards. So hope to see you guys all there. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for being our moderator. I'm going to go grab some dinner with the Weed Master, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys. Take care. Thanks from Oscar Goldman and Ponda. Bye-bye.